Before I joined Cashflow Tribe, I would go to these meetups and nothing really changed. There was no accountability, which is one thing that's really core to Cashflow Tribe. Not only did you have this intense sense of community, but you also had accountability.
I was working for somebody else that was not me. Okay, this 9-to-5 rat race that I'm trapping, I don't like it. I know something is bigger there for me.
Cashflow Tribe has been some serious practitioner information that I was able to tap into. I knew I needed to take it to a higher level.
Cashflow Tribe was Canadian, and that's what really kind of moved me more towards them. This is exactly the kind of group and people that I want to be part of.
If somebody's losing in one of my deals, I don't want to do the deal. If I cannot have my partners to win on the deal as well, I don't want the deal.
My name is Douglas.
My name is Tish.
My name is Alex, and I am.
And I am.
And I'm Cashflow Tribe.
Cashflow Tribe.
Cashflow Tribe. Huh.
Hey everybody, how you doing? It's your man, it's your boy Daniel Blagrove hitting you with yet another Wednesday masterclass. I hope y'all are doing super well. We got the chat going, we got the chat flowing. It's good to see everybody. Let me know if you can hear me. My mic is on. We got Steve, what's up, man? Jan Carpenter, what's up, Tanya? It's good to see y'all. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We got Bob, what's up, Bob? Sarah is in the house. What's going on, Sarah from Cashflow Tribe? We also got Steven. Let's see who else is on here. We got Blaine. Is it Reagan? Okay, awesome. Dwayne Gatlin. It's awesome, man. It's good to see everybody. Ahmed, what's up, man? Aman. Oh, Justin. All right. Good evening, every one of you. I hope your day was amazing. It was fantastic. Listen, I don't want to waste your time. This is Real Estate Basics with Blagrove. The whole purpose is so that you can be able to do your first or next deal faster than you would alone with the help of Cashflow Tribe, Canada's #1 real estate community. If you know me on the pitch, you know that Cashflow Tribe, our goal is based on 4 things. It's on community, results, impact, and transparency. Upon those 4 pillars, we look to really add value. And I got a special guest today because, listen, a lot of y'all have been talking to me saying, listen, we want to be able to do deals. We know that there are a lot of people doing multiple offers on the market, and it's really tough. You're overpaying for properties and things of that nature. So how are we going to be able to do deals in a way where we're not looking to overpay for properties? And it's about going off market, right? Teresa says loud and clear. Thanks for letting me know. Stephen from Halifax. Ian, what's up? Bob from Hamilton. All right. Reagan, the pitch. You got it. And so, listen, I'm bringing on yet another person who has been able to successfully accomplish doing deals off market, doing deals in such a way. Listen, you don't got to be a wholesaler. If you're looking to flip houses, if you're looking to hold rental properties, if you're looking to burr your way to financial freedom, whatever the case may be, I tell each and every one of you all the time, the key is being able to get deals at a discounted price. That is the goal. And so I'm bringing on yet another person who I believe is doing really well in her market, just west of Toronto, in an expensive market, a growing and a booming market, but still finding ways to get it done. Jason May, what's up, man? And so I'm not gonna waste any time. We're gonna get right into the presentation, guys. And so this is the topic today: free marketing, no money, but you're still getting deals. Okay. Now there are some people who have money to spend, money to lend, but maybe you're a beginner. Maybe you're someone who's just looking to get the ball rolling and you're looking to bring in some revenue so that you can start your own form of momentum. Well, this is the class. So I hope you got your seatbelt ready. I hope you're ready to go because we're about to get right into this. So for those who don't know me, my name is Daniel Blagrove. All right. I'm the 7th member of Cashflow Tribe. We're well over 3,000 members now on the platform, which is awesome. I'm also a member of the Council Mastermind, and I've been doing deals since 2019, still looking to do deals, still doing deals, looking for partnerships, looking for ways to expand and to grow. And so that's where I'm at. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about my special, amazing guest. My amazing guest, her name is Amanda Schultz. She is new to real estate investing since January of 2021. She joined Cashflow Tribe and then quickly made the move into the same mastermind that I'm a part of called the Council. And she currently wholesales deals in her market of Kitchener, Waterloo, Ontario. And so, Amanda, if you do us the pleasure of turning on your cam, turning on the mic, say hello to the people. And for all of you in the chat, put some emojis, put some hellos, put some hey, how you doing in the chat. She's here. Amanda, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks so much.
Yeah, the pleasure's mine. Is there anything you wish to share? Anything, maybe a fun fact about yourself that you wish to share with everybody tonight?
A fun fact is that I actually quit my job, my full-time job, Monday to Friday in March of this year to jump 2 feet into real estate investing.
Wow, man, that's amazing. This year, that's crazy. And so, like, how has it been for you and since making that decision? Because I know a lot of people, they have analysis paralysis. Maybe they're fearful that they don't have that comfort of getting that predictable 2-week paycheck. But maybe you can share some insights since you're into that full-time game. What do you wish to share with people tonight?
Sure, absolutely. I'm happy to share with you guys that really it was a decision that I did take a lot of time to think about. I did think about kind of my family aspect and how this would benefit. And I also knew, because I wanted to seriously take full advantage of counsel, that I needed to have 2 feet on the ground and just really expose myself to people, to make new relationships, as well as to continue to find opportunities in terms of finding sellers. So that was my big decision, that I just had to be all in.
That's right. No, I love your attitude. The fact of the matter is, we got to go all in. We got to put 2 feet in, and you're absolutely doing that. And you're a practitioner. You're not just someone who's talking about it, but you did it and still doing it in terms of doing deals, which we're about to get into. And so, yeah, Eric says, congrats. Jan says, hey, Amanda. Steven, you're absolutely right. She is a superstar. And so it's awesome to have her on. And she, Reagan says, that's ballsy. I love it. I love it. All right, let's get right into it. All right. And so today's goal is very simple. I've always been talking about it. If you're brand new, this is my whole purpose. I want you to be able to take golden nuggets from every week and be able to apply it to your circumstances, situation, so that you can move one step closer to your real estate goal. Now, your real estate goal could be buy your first property. Your real estate goal could be, I want to quit my job. Your first goal could be, I want to pay for retirement. Your first goal could be anything. All we're talking about tonight is just helping you get there one step closer. So if you can just turn off your distractions, put your phone on do not disturb, maybe find some quiet space, find some space where you can focus in and really take some of these golden nuggets that Amanda's going to share with us tonight. That would be amazing. And so, as I was mentioning, we're just looking to take small steps over this big mountain. When we talk about doing our first deal, that may seem like a daunting task, but the reality is, if we can just take it down to bite-sized chunks and just focus on taking one chunk at a time, we will make progress. And with progress, we make momentum. And with momentum, we can make big leaps, and we eventually get to our goal if we're consistent and consistent day in, day out over a long period of time. All right, so let's get right into it. The 3-step process to getting deals. See, Amanda, we have here, we're going to search online. We're going to find sellers that are the owner or the seller, and we're going to move quickly. Now, on the surface level, this may seem simple to the investor, but I'm pretty sure you probably have some more golden nuggets beneath that. Do you want to just expound on that for us?
Sure. As a big thing of mine would be searching Kijiji day and night. So obviously different times of the day you'd be watching those ads and just really paying attention. Even when you search under owner, not always is it an owner that is marketing a property. So watching your ads in terms of who they're saying they are, and then as well as you're getting familiar with some agents who post as Randy or as Joe. And then you will very quickly learn, and asking questions at that first opportunity of indicating, are they the owner as well as the sellers? Because obviously off market, the best thing to do is to get in front of that actual seller. Interesting.
So like you're saying Kijiji. And so from your personal experience, right, because we had someone else in the past, let me know in the chat if you remember, we had Thea on, we also had Quentin Green on. We had doing killer deals on the wholesaling side, off market. So are you telling me, and you can be honest with me, you can get deals done through Kijiji?
Absolutely. I would say 2 of my big properties in the last month have come from a Kijiji ad. So definitely.
In the last 30 days, you mean to tell me that everyone watching tonight, if we are applying these principles, that we can put ourselves in a position where we absolutely can do deals? It's not required of us to drop 20,000 flyers. It's one way that works, but you're saying that if we put in the time, we put in the effort, and we're consistent, Kijiji is a viable marketing channel.
Absolutely. I would also say that you need to act quickly with Kijiji, as lots of people are watching Kijiji for ads, but it is a great opportunity.
So what I really want to highlight, everybody, is that you don't have to start with money. You don't. You just have to have the energy, the time, and the focus. See, Amanda is emphasizing that you got to be on the ball. Whenever that listing pops up, you got to be among the first to dial that phone. It's one thing to see the listing, it's another to take action on the listing, right? And so when you say, so let's go with point number 2 before we go to point number 3. You want to find sellers out of the owner. You mentioned that even under the for sale by owner section, some people may pose as not the owner. What would they be if they're not the owner?
They could be real estate agents.
Real estate agents. Okay. And so now obviously, like in my experience, like that's quite annoying, to be honest. Like I'm trying to filter you out and here you are still putting yourself in that section. That's quite annoying, but it's important to understand the difference. And why in your process is it important to know the difference? Why not just call them anyway?
By all means, it's another opportunity to have a conversation and build a relationship with other agents. However, when I'm focusing on off-market deals, I really want to get in front of the sellers. I really want to understand what has led them to the opportunity to make the decision today that they need to sell their property. And then as well, how can I help them? Does that help?
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think one thing I also want to add on top of that is your negotiations and the things that you want to do as far as creating win-wins with the seller often are more open when you're direct to seller. When you're talking to the realtor, a lot of times things can be misconjumbled. The realtor may have this own agenda as far as how they want to sell the property. And so it can be very, very difficult to understand the underlying motivation of the seller. Would you say that makes sense, Amanda?
Yeah, I would totally agree that you don't always get the same story, and the facts come best from the seller themselves.
100%. Now let's go to the point number 3 where we talk about acting with speed. All right. So acting with speed can be simply, it's not just simply, hey, I'm gonna go on and be the first one to see the property, because everybody can see a property. But what do you define meaning acting with speed? What kind of action are we expected to take if we're going to be successful on Kijiji?
So some people don't post their phone numbers. They just have an ad. So you need to respond to that ad. You need to introduce yourself, and you need to confirm again if they are the owner and the seller. And then from there, how to get your way into the property to start that process in terms of viewing the property and getting more details.
Now, in your opinion, what do you think about that sets you apart from everyone else?
So again, if you're persistent and really show that you have a keen interest, then people like to listen and start to build rapport with you. And so that, again, is an opportunity to be first in line.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. And the reason why I asked her is because I want you to understand that this is the level of action taking that people like Amanda are doing, which is why they're getting deals. But when we hear that Kijiji works and we're not seeing any action, it's this level of action that needs to take. You need to, even if there's not a number posted, reach out, confirm to the seller, find ways to get into that door, because the faster you get, it's either you are the first person that I've been told, you're either the first person or you're the very last person that's able to make that offer. But somewhere in between, you either won or lost. And so you've got to be able to be the person to act with speed, get to that doorstep or get on that phone, get connected with that seller, and be able to build rapport in such a way where you stand out from other people. Because if you're too late, so many other people will get on that listing. So speaking about listings, which ones should you pursue, right? And so talk to us about when it comes to identifying which sellers to go forward with, ones to back away with, or which ones fell through. Maybe give us some insight on that topic.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say that there's anything in particular in terms of a set box that fits and says what you pursue. Again, it's about making that communication, understanding what has led them to that opportunity, why they want to sell, and then how can I be at that property in the next hour or so we can really have a good conversation, so I can get some photos and really get you the end result which you're looking for today.
100%. And I think, like, once again, the reason why it's so important to really ask, are you the seller? Are you the owner of this property? Is because sometimes people may not be serious. Sometimes people are not necessarily not serious, but what I've found in my experience, and Amanda, you can let me know, you can confirm or deny if this is your experience as well, that you'll have, even if it's not a realtor, you may have someone's cousin or maybe someone's brother or someone's friend or somebody representing them, even though they're not a realtor. This is still an off-market listing, but they're not the realtor, but they're not the owner. Mm-hmm. And there's still a difference, right? The only way you can really get to the bottom of a situation with regard to the seller is getting in direct contact with the owner. Would you find that's been the case for you as well?
Absolutely. And another important conversation to maybe ask is to confirm who's actually the owner and who's on title. And you want to get everyone in the same room at the same time, so you can have the same conversations and everyone hears the same message, and then hopefully move again to the next level.
100%, absolutely. And I think the biggest thing that we want you to understand is that there is a process to this, right? You don't have to go into every conversation saying something different. It's a process. You're gonna reach out to the seller. You're gonna confirm they're the owner, they're the seller, and you're gonna continue the conversation that moves toward making an offer, right? That's the goal. You want to get offers in this game, because as much as you want to be the first, you also you have to commit to the whole process, which we'll get to, right? It's really about doing that. And so now when it comes to Kijiji, right, like or any type of listing, whether it's Facebook Marketplace or whatever, or whichever one you want to use, right? Whenever it doesn't have the phone number, right, and you send a message, let's say you send a message and they don't respond, do you do some sort of follow-up process, or what would you look to do in that situation, if any?
Yeah, so I have resent a message and just said, I just wanted to confirm again that I'm reaching out to you. When is the best time that we can connect? Really putting the ball back in their court, reiterating that you are interested, and seeing how both parties can be available at the same time.
Right. And so once you're able to get that response, you want to move into a stage where you're gathering information. Okay. Once again, when it comes to putting in efforts off market, it really comes to your level of effort and I was going to say persistiveness. It's not even a word. You got to be persistent, right? You got to be consistent, and in terms of reaching out and connecting with the seller. So the next stage is gathering information, right? The first point you want to talk about is, once you have the address, you want to start gathering your data. What does that look like for Amanda in her situation?
So I would say I start to gather data in terms of how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms. Tell me a bit about your house. What have you done to it lately? Again, you're having those conversations about what's led you to sell your home today. I want to see how I can add that extra piece of value and to support you and your needs. And then you're reaching out and gathering data in terms of other comparable sales in the area, and then starting to do your number comparisons.
Absolutely. And so, and once again, I want to reiterate to everybody that what Amanda's talking about now isn't something that she does from house to house. It's literally the same process, no matter which seller she's talking about. When she's gathering information, she knows what pieces of information she needs to gather. Why? In order for her to make an educated offer, right? And so once again, remember, you may know that Matt McKeever often talks about, in order to get deals, you have to make offers. If you don't make offers, you're not going to get deals. But in order to make offers, you got to be able to know what you're offering on. And therefore, this information gathering stage is critically important. We don't just want to throw out a random number, because it could be too high. It could be a disrespectful offer where the seller's just not going to engage with you in any conversation, or even worse, you could be leaving money on the table should the seller actually accept it. You want to make sure the level of offers that you're making are educated based on the information that you gather, such as the bedrooms, the bathrooms, square footage, the condition of the property, what type of repairs need to be done, what houses like this one have been sold on the market, right? You also have here in point 2, you do a Google Street View, right? Why is that important to do a Google Street View and actually look at the house and see what's online?
You can pay attention to kind of the quality of the homes on the street. And again, you're not going to be going after necessarily the best house on the street. You're trying to actually hopefully find the property that's maybe in the worst shape, so you can get it to the second best on the street, or the best.
Wow, I was actually thinking that myself as well. That is absolutely a great piece of information. The reason why you want to get, actually, I want you to answer. Why should I get the worst street on the house? Why can't I just get any house on the best street?
Because again, as you're looking to add value to something in terms of being able to propose this property to some other buyer, you want to be able to have them have the opportunity to add whatever value they want to.
Very, very good point. Nassim and Jan, I see your questions. We definitely will be getting to those questions very shortly. We want to make sure we get this value to you guys. And then once you've understood the full scope, hopefully, if it hasn't already been answered by then, we'll definitely address your questions shortly after. And so in a nutshell, gathering information, you want to get the information on the property. What are the beds, the baths, the condition, even what would be some helpful information as well is to even know why the seller is selling. Why are they looking to sell? Is there any level of motivation there, right? Is there what kind of sales activity has happened in the area, right? What does the street look like? And once again, these are not something that you need to draft on a random piece of paper. I highly recommend that you build this into a process. That way, when it comes to, because think about this, you're not just going to be talking to just one listing a month. You're going to be looking to see whatever listings come up every day, every given day. Some days there's no listings, some days there's a lot of listings. Your process got to be the same, because if you want to move with speed, you want to have it systematized. And that's the key here. So one thing I really want you to take away is that what Amanda's talking about here, she is doing with every property. Or correct me if I'm wrong, Amanda, is there anything different that you do from property to property?
No, it's about a systematic approach, and that you're making sure you have your data in front of you, because again, you're going to need those notes. Let's say you do obtain properties, you need to know what you're talking about if you're going to be sharing them with others.
Absolutely. And one of the best things is when it comes to being an investor is that you want your system to be predictable. And the reason why is because when you move with predictability, that means you move with speed. You know, it's going to start to become second nature. And the things that you find are terrifying right now, such as maybe talking on the phone on the sellers, making offers. If you systematize it and you do it on a repetitive process, it will become a muscle memory type of skill for you as a real estate investor. And so let's talk about the first case study here, a single family home in Hamilton, Ontario. Take it away.
Yeah, so this was a property I found on Kijiji. I acted quickly and indicated that I was interested, wanted to know when was a good time to view the property. From there, I was able to get a viewing within an hour and a half. I was at the property, getting a walkthrough, getting my pictures, having conversations, and I already, before I went to the property, was already reaching out to get some comparables within the area to have an idea in terms of a range for price. And then from there, me and the seller negotiated from a range down to a single price that we would be able to both be comfortable moving forward with.
Wow, that's awesome. And so let's talk about the first things you mentioned. You said that you were able to move toward an appointment or a viewing within 1.5 hours of, is this within mentioning them on the listing, or once you got on the phone? Like what was that 1.5 hour process like?
Yeah, so that was from the initial, once I found the ad and started reaching out, we did a few back and forth conversations, and then we did a Zoom call. And then from there, I was able to move forward to get to the property.
Wow. And so what is amazing about this, I want y'all to really, really zoom in on and narrow in on, is the fact that she was able to see the listing, she reached out, and she went from reaching out to getting an appointment in just 90 minutes or less. And the thing is, even if the seller takes 3 hours, let the seller take 3 hours. But please do not let yourself take 3 hours to be able to get in contact with the seller, to communicate and to let them know what you're looking to do, right? And so the next portion I want to talk about is the fact that you ran the numbers and you submitted an offer that made sense to him. You first started out with a range, and then you moved down to a specific number. Can you talk about what that process looked like?
Yeah, so again, I'm putting control back in the seller's hands. I'm letting them work with me in terms of a range. And then from a range, we're narrowing it down to the difference of probably a couple $1,000s. And then again, offering them a price that they would feel comfortable with. And given the situation that I knew what was happening on this property, it was a divorce situation. I was able to add value by being able to offer them $1,000 for legal fees, given the fact that they were in a situation that required legal assistance, not only to sell their property, but to deal with a family issue.
Wow. I'm actually going to put out a poll right now. Have you, everybody, I want you to really put this on the poll. Have you ever spoken to a seller off market before? I just want to be able to get a feel for it, so I know how in depth I should really go with regards to Amanda conversing with off market sellers. Now, Amanda, you talked about starting with the range. I love that way of going about it. And the reason why I do that is it's what I like to call a soft pass. I really want to see how motivated is the seller. Where are they really at as far as what they're feeling for? I particularly like this if they're willing to give me a number, right? If they're not willing to give me a number, then I would try to say, okay, can I get a range? Right. And I start there, and then I work my way down based on the information I was presented, not only on the phone, but maybe if I see it physically in the property, or if I see it on Zoom, or whatever the case may be. Whatever information I gather, I look to really use that so I can make more of an educated decision as I work to a more finite number. But when you start with a range, are you using just simply comparables, or are you just throwing out a number? What's your process there?
Yeah, I'm definitely using my comparables the best I can and knowing what's happened in the area. Again, and then educating them to understand that, yes, I understand, you know, that Joe's house down the street sold for X amount of dollars, but let's look at what Joe had. Let's look at the work that needs to be done here, and let's compare on kind of making things more appropriate and putting things into perspective. And then also just learning from them, how did you come up with your price? Sometimes somebody told me is something I've heard, or they actually have a hard number because they're in a situation that this would solve their problem. So really understanding where they came up with their numbers also helps to negotiate.
100%. And I think what's actually really, really important for everybody to acknowledge is the fact that Amanda is actually educating her sellers. This is something that I don't see a lot of people doing. It's one thing to have a conversation and just to make an ask, and then if they say no, you move on. It's another thing when you step in, you say, hey, my name is Daniel. This is what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to see if through my services, I'm able to help you with your situation. And in the process of doing that, you're educating the seller. You're letting them know, hey, this is what's going on in the market. This is what's been happening over the last 30 to 60 to 90 days. This is what I can tell you about properties that have been fixed like this, or in conditions like this, or transactions that took place. Whatever level of education, and I highly recommend that you actually learn this stuff so that you actually can educate them and not be talking out of your butt when you're talking to sellers, because you want to be you want to have integrity, you want to move with honesty, because many sellers will be able to sniff nonsense from a mile away. And so the more prepared you are to have that conversation, I believe is the stronger your offer will be, because when you make the offer, you're not just talking from like, I'm just going to throw out a random number. You're going to say, because and as a result of the things that I've shared with you, this is the range, or this is a specific offer that I'm looking to make on the property. And I believe from that perspective, they'll be able to look to make more of an educated decision, right? And then another thing I also wanted to make mention is the fact that, when it comes to making the offer, it's not just verbal, but it's also written. It's not something that you just say, but it's also something that you actually present and you send, right? So with this case study, how did you do the offer? Was it over the phone? Did you do it in person? Did you send it over electronically? What was that situation like?
So because we had two parties that needed to sign and they both weren't available at the same time, I was able to do a verbal, had an offer with me. So I always recommend that everyone take even a blank a purchase agreement form with you. Otherwise, you can use techniques, things like DocuSign, to be able to get things electronically signed quickly.
Absolutely. Electronically, it makes things faster. It saves you time, saves the seller his time or her time, with the ability to do things in the comfort of their own home, especially in a COVID climate. Shout out to John Ortiz. It's good to see you, my man. Let's go on to case study number 2. All right. This one's a condo, and this one is located in Waterloo, Ontario. Amanda, take us away with this one.
Yeah, this was another exciting property. I was a little bit lost when I first came upon it within Kijiji. There wasn't much in this whole condo area that I could find, or that I was able to receive from support with a realtor to help me to understand what was happening. At the same point, I knew from other things kind of within a 5 kilometers, 10 kilometer radius that there had been other similar properties that had sold. So again, I acted quickly. I got a viewing, ran some numbers, already had kind of a range in my mind when I met with the seller, took a paper copy of already a written out agreement, purchase and sale. We did have to scratch some things out and reassess things as we negotiated. But again, setting up the walkthrough was really helpful to educate me, to get my photos, and then to move forward to be able to give somebody else the opportunity to purchase this property.
Wow. And so a couple questions here. What was the process of getting photos for this deal?
Yeah, so the process in terms of getting photos is I let them lead the way and kind of take me through their home. And then I said, do you mind if I do a quick video? It's going to help as I work with a team of investors to be able to show them this property to see how we can get you the price that it is you're looking for.
Wow, that's awesome. And even if you're not a wholesaler, you don't necessarily have to take pictures for the purpose of assigning it. You simply could buy it for yourself or your business partner, whatever the case may be. It's still important to get pictures, because what you may see now, what you may see today, you may want to refresh your memory when you're getting home, taking pictures. You want to make sure you run through every detail. You know exactly what you're offering on. Now, in this one in particular, you now set up the viewing in a few hours. What were the details of this one? Was this one over the phone? Did you send this by message? How did you set this up from when you first saw the listing?
Yeah, when I first saw the listing, I did have to respond to the ad on Kijiji. There was no phone number again, at which time within an hour or so, I was able to get a phone number. We could have a phone conversation. The seller was coming from out of town and was really looking for reassurance that I was actually going to be buying this property. And again, I said to them, I was interested in terms of the photos, but I can't confirm anything without actually physically seeing something. So I was able to make a deal that we could come to a conclusion on a time and date that I could meet at the property. She could walk me through what she knew about it, and then we could come to a conclusion on finding as well a closing date that worked best for her.
And I think what's really key is that you actually worked with the seller. I don't know how all your deals have went, but one thing I do notice is that you really make an effort to make sure you understand where they're coming from, and then you meet them where they're at, but take them to the goal where it's a win-win for the both of you guys. And I think that's really, really important. The reason why I say that is because the seller is not just going to do you a favor by giving them your house. They're really going to want to know what's in it for me. Remember, there is this quote that says they don't care about what you know until they know that you care. And when you care enough to actually listen to them and see where their needs at and understand what opportunities there are for you as an investor to solve their problems, they will start to open up and make opportunities for you guys to come together and work toward a deal. So what I see in this case study, and correct me if I'm wrong, Amanda, was there were a lot of times where there may be some tug and pull. There were some opportunities where you had to go back and forth a little bit, but the focus was bringing it to a place where you can come to an agreement, not necessarily just win the negotiation. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. There was a point when me and the seller were having a conversation that I thought we were going to actually not be able to move forward with a deal on either one of us to agree. There was somebody else who I was competing with for this property. And because I was allowing her to tell me kind of her story and what was the best win situation, what did she need out of this? And it ended up being just a couple $1,000s more than that other person. So we were able to then move forward and close the deal.
Wow, that's amazing. And I think the biggest thing that I really want y'all to really take away is the fact that this is a repeatable process. This is what you've seen from end to end. You see the Kijiji listing, right? And we're not even talking about simply you posting the ad and waiting for sellers to call you, which is another way of doing it. But one thing that is super important is that you're proactive. You're not reactive, waiting for people to reach out to you, but you're proactive, or best, you're both. And what you need to be doing is you need to be setting a time and a process where you're consistently checking listings. You're checking listings, you're reaching out to them. You're sending messages, you're calling, you're picking up the phone. You're booking the appointment. You're reaching out to say, hey, when can I meet, or when can we do this on Zoom so I can see the property? And once you see the property, you start to gather information, or even in between then, you gather information, you understand all the details that you need to know. Once again, maybe it's an Excel sheet, or maybe it's a worksheet. You just have a sheet and you know the piece of information you get. So it's just second nature. Okay, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? You build rapport. And then once you get the information, you educate the seller through that process. You make the offer. You can do this in person. You can do this over the phone with an electronic signature. There are multiple ways you could do this, but make the offer and repeat. And repeat and repeat and repeat. The more times you do this over and over and over again, not only will you build the muscle of making offers and dealing with sellers, but you also will increase the chances of getting a deal far more significantly higher. And so I actually want y'all to put in the chat real quick, how many of y'all made more than 5 offers in your investment career? Just let me say yes or no. I want to hear from y'all. How many of y'all have made more than 5 offers? Amanda, how many offers would you say in a ballpark that you've made to date? Like, how many offers would you say in total?
A lot. I have not kept track. Over 20 since January.
Wow, over 20 since January. We're only in April, and so it really and that already on average is at least 1 offer a week. And how many deals have you done to date?
How many deals? Well, for the first bit of my deals, we had issues finding buyers, to be honest. But definitely, I've closed on quite a few properties. And
see, the reality is that if you just be consistent, you can get deals. That is the whole takeaway, right? So even though some of them, Steve says, no, not even one. Hey, that's okay. Jeffrey, that's okay. Blaine, that's okay. Jan, I appreciate the honesty. Shout out to Claudia, Aman, Troy. And you know what's amazing about this? This is the reason why I asked the question. Claudia has completed, or not completed, she's in the process of doing her deal, right? I'm not too sure if it's closed yet, but she's looking to house hack a property, and so she's made offers. It makes sense that she's got a property, right? Aman, right? I see Troy, right? There are people who, when they're consistent, right, they get deals, and this is what I want for each and every single one of you, right? And so now I want y'all to take action this week, okay? So please let me know in the chat. Put action in the chat if you're ready to go. Put action in the chat, because listen, guys, I love when you are on this webinar with me. I love it when you're on this masterclass. You're hanging with me and a special guest who are doing deals. But what does it matter if you're not making the money? You got to take the action so that you can get the results. So this is the homework for this week, okay? Listen, I'm going to hold y'all feet to the fire. I want y'all, that's what I'm talking about, Ahmed, Troy, use Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji to start contacting for sale by owners. If you do not have money, if you do not have the time the money to be able to put out flyers or to do Google ads or to whatever other paid marketing channel, listen, For Sale by Owners is a free channel that you can do with your time and your energy. Everybody has a Google Calendar. Everybody's got time. Everybody's got 24 hours. It really just comes down to how are you using it? How are you spending it, and how are you allocating it to your business? How are you allocating it to your portfolio, right? And so use your Facebook Marketplace, use Kijiji, start contacting For Sale by Owners. Gather the information necessary to make the calculated offer, make the offer in writing, and do it over and over and over again. Let me see in the chat, how many are, put yes in the chat if you're actually going to do the homework. Don't lie to me. Like, actually tell me how many of y'all are actually going to do it. Because here's the truth. Here is the truth. The reality is, if you put in the work, it is only a matter of time before you get the result. It's only a matter of time, right? Amanda, having done a few deals now and having seen the process end to end, how confident are you in your process?
Yeah, I feel definitely way more confident. If I think back to January and going, I don't even know how I could ever do this. And now here I am in April and closing on deals. And really, guys, it's such a confidence booster. Yes, it feels weird at first, but you guys can do it.
Man, I totally understand when some people are thinking to themselves, oh, I understand what you're saying, Daniel, but it's good for Amanda. It's good for Daniel. It's good for Mark Smith. You know, all of these people, they can do it. They can do it, but not me. I'm telling you guys, that is a limiting belief. That is something that is simply not true. And you really got to take time to figure out where you got that belief from. Because the reality is, if you put in the same action, listen, success is not discriminatory. Discriminatory. That's right. That's the word. The success is not discriminatory. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what your background was. The reality is, if you take the action, the results will come. It may not come today. It may not come next week. But if you're consistent and you do it over and over and over and over again, success is inevitable. This is true for me. This is true for Amanda. And this is absolutely true for you. So I really want to challenge everybody who said, no, they haven't made an offer. They haven't made more than 5 offers. I implore you to take advantage of the homework. Test this system. Test it. I want y'all to take this presentation that will be emailed out to y'all after the call. And I want you, after a certain period amount of time, with proof, to come to me and say, Daniel, I tried this process and it doesn't work. I tried it. Because the reality is, I put that challenge out there and I said, can you be consistent for 6 months? Can you be consistent and put your head down and be able to generate that result? Because oftentimes I found in my own experience, it's not the system, it's me. I am the issue. I need to fix my mindset. I need to fix my habits. I need to fix my day-to-day practices so that I can become the person who is capable of accomplishing these results. That is something I'm working on every day. It's called personal development. I know Amanda's working on that every day, and it's a process of becoming the investor who will accomplish the financial freedom that you desire, right? And so as a result, you see what people are doing. Check out Harvinder, right? She was been able to accomplish getting a property under contract, but instead of wholesaling it, she ended up keeping it, closing on it, and then reselling it. It's called a hotel, all right? It's like flipping it without renovating it. She, instead of assigning it, she kept it, closed it, relisted it, and made over $163,000. TJ Ainsborough, who's going to be coming on because he's been killing the game in the real estate world. Check out what he's done. He's got a firm property sold. He's wholesaled a property for over $100K and purchased 2 weeks ago and will close in 30 days. And he has a third property, which he's been working on, which is in the market. People are taking action, and you can too. So I implore you that we are no special people. We are not the special people among us. We are not, I don't know what to tell you guys. We're literally just real people who have done real results. And the whole purpose of this, remember what I said, our core values are community, results, impact, and transparency. So our goal is to hopefully, as a community tonight, that we were transparent about what we do so that you can generate results and that we can do it in terms of making an impact, not just for you, but for your families as well. And so as a result, I want to encourage you to try out Cashflow Tribe. Cashflow Tribe is the community where we really help you day by day, week by week, help you accomplish all of these things that we're talking about. There's a course library with all our courses. There are free events just like this one. We also have weekly trainings that happen on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. every single week, live on Zoom, week after week after week after week, to help you with several different real estate strategies. We believe we are Canada's #1 real estate community because we have over 3,000 members who are on our platform. We also have calculators, and we are also able to analyze our properties through our online calculators, whether it's you're looking to buy as a first-time home buyer, you're buying as a rental, you're buying to flip, you're buying to wholesale, or even if you want to see it across all those different strategies, we have a calculator that can show you all of that. But I love it when you see those TV commercials and it goes, but wait, there's more, right? So as a tribe member, listen, there's multiple options. First of all, if you're not a member and you're just looking to learn and you're just looking to get some information, listen, I'm telling you right now, look at my thumbnail. There's no pressure. Just sign up with a free account and just learn, because we want you to be a part of our community. However, if you are part of the 60% that said, I'm ready to take action, I'm ready to move the needle in my financial life, and I want to make it happen, then I encourage you to grab the $59 membership so that you can start to really start to gain momentum and really make things happen. But for those who are really looking to do this and looking to make this happen, they're really looking to commit, they're really looking to make it happen, I really encourage you to try out our yearly membership. This will be at a discount, of course, in comparison to the monthly membership, but you'll also get a super special bonus for joining and committing to your real estate journey as an investor. Here's our offer. For the first person who signs up, you're going to get not only the annual membership, you're going to get a 2-day mastermind experience ticket. What is a 2-day mastermind experience? The 2-day mastermind experience is where you spend a whole weekend deep diving into one particular topic. And we got these coming off month to month, so you don't have to miss out. This could be on OPM, which stands for other people's money, how to invest using other people's money. You can talk about flipping, talk about wholesaling. We talk about how to master real estate investing if you don't have a lot of experience. In April, this coming weekend, in a few days, we're going to be talking about the BRRRR method. The BRRRR method stands for the buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat. This is a popular strategy coined by Brandon Turner. And many people, just like Matt McKeever and many other investors, have used this strategy to build out their rental portfolio and become financially free. And so I highly recommend you check this out. But as far as the mastermind experience, I really want to bring on my man, Mark Smith, because he has a lot of information packed for it. And I only wanted you to hear from him. So Mark, if you're on, bring on your camera, my brother, and let's talk about it.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Amanda? Hope you guys are doing well. So, yeah, folks, good to see, put some comments in there. Are you guys alive? Or are you guys dead? Come on. You give some love to Blagrove, give some love to Amanda. Always delivering. So this coming weekend, we actually have our mastermind experience event. So what is a mastermind? And that's the first thing. So a mastermind is exactly that. It's mastering with the minds. You collectively put them together. Why do we call it a mastermind experience? It's no secret. We do have a mastermind within Cashflow Tribe. But why not give you that experience of what we actually do over that 2 days? Because attending these two-day events can really change the trajectory of where you are in your real estate investing journey. So this coming weekend, we're actually focused on the mastery of the BRRRR strategy. It's a phenomenal strategy. It's tax-free money when you take it back, and that's how you can rinse and repeat. Many of us have done really well with it. My first BRRRR, not only did I make $100,000, actually, let me correct. I made $117,000 on my first BRRRR. So to put some perspective of what that actually means, I took money out to put a down payment. I did my renovations on doing a BRRRR strategy. I did what I was supposed to do by following the theory behind this from our great mentors, took it back to the bank, and the bank cut me a check for $117,000. What that $117,000 meant is I was actually in the negative minus 17 or the positive $17,000. So the bank actually paid me to take the house from them. Pretty simple, right? But it's simple only if you take the action, but you need the confidence, and the confidence is built by being in a small room. So this is what we're focusing on. Forget about me, forget about Matt, forget about Ben, everybody that's doing this. We're actually going to have other speakers on there that are actually in the process of doing their first BRRRRs, and you can learn for yourself that you don't have to be that expert. It's about getting in the right room. So I hope you guys can join us. We have some amazing speakers lined up. It's going to be epic.
Oh, that's awesome, Mark. Really appreciate you, brother. Also, want to give you a heads up. Next week, we're actually going to be talking about OPM, how to invest with other people's money, how to raise the capital and do deals. And I couldn't think of anyone else, anyone more fitting than the one and only 7-2 mindset investor, Mark Smith, who's going to be joining us next week. So stay tuned. He's going to bring the fire, and it's going to be an amazing time. Mark, thanks so much.
That should have been today's talk. Last night, 9:30 last night, I was able to raise $150,000 unsecured on a promissory note.
Come on, man.
You want those secrets, you gotta wait till next week. You gotta wait till next week for those secrets, or you can come to this weekend's event and maybe we can put a side room and we can chat. So see you guys all soon.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
Take care all.
And so with that, this is our offer, everybody. The first person to sign up for an annual membership will get over $250 off and a complimentary mastermind experience ticket valued at $500. Now we're going to get to the Q&A with Amanda very shortly, but I just want you to know the first person to take action will get this for $338. That's $250 off the price for a total of $338. A year membership plus a 2-day mastermind experience ticket for free thrown in with that. And so, Amanda, if you're still with us, we're going to go ahead and answer just a few questions before we get on out of here. All right. So let's see here. Let's see what questions we have. And so one there was a question. I think the comments are deleting after there's so many comments, but I did see one early. Just trying to remember off the top of my head. It went something like, Amanda, do you offer based on a percentage of fair market value, or what is your process of evaluating properties?
Yeah, so I think what I can share with everyone is, again, you're looking at your fair market and you're looking at your after repair value. So you're really understanding what kind of room and gap is there so you can add value to whoever's going to purchase the property. That's how I look at it in terms of a wholesaler. So you really want to know kind of what would you do in terms of renos and make that list and do those calculations so you can present it appropriately.
Absolutely. And Z Bailey says, Amanda, what's your backup plan if you cannot find a buyer?
So not always are you able to find a buyer. Again, I encourage everyone to kind of create like their own little mini buyers list to network, to work together. Maybe it's inappropriate for you to find a JV partner so the two of you can work together and close on the property. And then worst case scenario, sometimes it does mean that you need to go back to the seller and explain to them that you weren't able to move the property appropriately, and either maybe talk about a price reduction or seeing if there's another solution for you guys.
One follow-up question I have for you, Amanda, is, well, if you're not able to reduce the price and you can't find a buyer, does that mean you're stuck with the property and now you have to come up with the money?
No, it doesn't. If you use some of the clauses, which I would classify as exit clauses, it's a way of saying, you know what, unfortunately, I've tried and I just wasn't able to move the property accordingly.
And the biggest thing I want you to remember with regards to this question is you can get out of a property when you write the contract in such a way where you're able to walk away and not be penalized or have anybody come after you. The exit clauses are absolutely vital. And if you don't have them, you can also go on cashflowtribe.com. We have some PDFs there where you can actually check out what those clauses are. As a matter of fact, when you're on cashflowtribe.com and you're looking to write an offer, there's actually a section when you click Schedule A, there's a drop-down menu of all kinds of clauses with explanations. Jeez, I don't know something to me in these words. Explanation of all these clauses so you understand which clauses make the most sense. However, just to talk on it really briefly, make sure that you only put in what you need. Don't put in so many that sound sophisticated because it actually might work against you and the seller might think you're scamming them or something. Be very clear, be very precise, and only put what you need in order to complete the transaction.
And Daniel, we need to share with everyone out there that they can also post their deals on Cashflow Tribe to help find buyers.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as a matter of fact, not only can you do that to find buyers, but you can also connect with people who also have a network of buyers so that you can be able to expand your reach for people who may be potentially looking for deals. You never know who the people in your network knows. And so you always want to make sure you're having conversations, you're generating activity because those things may pay dividends in the future. Absolutely. Good point there. Ian Chadwick says, does Cashflow Tribe have wholesale agreements? Yes, they do. We have blank downloadable contracts on cashflowtribe.com. All you got to go is on Cashflow Tribe. It's going to be on the left-hand menu. You'll be able to see forms, and under the section forms, you'll see when you click on contracts, you'll be able to see the forms as a downloadable PDF. Absolutely. Ian says, do you use any scripts or any check sheets or anything of that nature, Amanda?
I do create a template in terms of when I'm doing a walkthrough to kind of get data on the property. So again, we're looking for information about anything they've done to the property, the roof quality, things like that. So I encourage everyone to create some check sheets to make sure, especially as you're new and you're building your foundation, that you're really not missing any of the important details.
And what's important is to really emphasize that once you set that up, just follow that framework. You don't have to memorize and have something that you say word for word every time to sound robotic. You want to make sure you come off authentic. The biggest focus that I want you to have is simply to know what major points you need to hit with throughout the conversation in order to make sure you've gathered all necessary information for you to continue the process of making that offer. That's really the biggest thing. How you get those pieces of information can be different from each call to call, but the important thing is that you get that information. And so, but like Amanda said, having a sheet as a guide, I think would be a really good thing, 100%. Especially because what I've also noticed is that even if you may not do a deal with a seller at that moment, that house may be held on for a while, and maybe it's there for a while, and you never know when you may pay a revisit. And at that point in time, you want to make sure that you're not just reiterating yourself. You want to actually come back as a person who had previously visited, and you're saying, hey, I'm still interested. I see your house is still available. Can we talk on that? Right? Instead of calling and saying, hi, my name is Daniel. I'm looking for a real estate. And are you selling? Yeah, you asked me that last week. Why are you still calling me? You want to avoid that kind of stuff. And so be yourself, be upfront, and you can definitely make things happen more easier there.
Sorry, Daniel, we also want to tell them to use the courses to expand their knowledge, to gain their confidence. There's all those courses on Cashflow Tribe, guys. Reach out and use them.
Absolutely. Amanda's right on the ball. That's exactly what I did. You've seen previous speakers as well encourage you to go through the offer writing course. If you're afraid of writing offers because you don't understand the paperwork, we have a whole course. We have two of them actually, one by Adam Martin and another by Ben Mearson, where you can actually understand line by line every single word, understand the process of what each paragraph in each session means. And just like Amanda said, whether it's wholesaling, looking to buy rental properties, looking to flip, we have courses there to help you understand how to do your first or next deal. Well, let's take a few more questions before we wrap up. Ian says, how long does it take to drop an agreement?
So Ian, it would depend on every property, but as you get good, you can really write them up in a matter of 10 minutes.
Absolutely. And once again, the key word here is process. Once you've done it a few times, it becomes muscle memory. And it's literally just like filling out any kind of form that you see, whether it's at the doctor's office or it's a survey. It's just another form when you realize it over and over again. Steve says you'll never learn to ride a bicycle if you never get on. You're absolutely on the money. Absolutely. I also got a question here. Where's the recording going to be posted? The recording should be emailed out to you following today's class. However, if you don't, you can always reach out to my man, Vinny. Vinny, if you're on, just unmute yourself. Say what's up to the people. Oh, we lost it. He's probably doing something in the background, but the reality is Vinny is the man for the job. He'll be able to help you guys out. So reach out to him, Vinny at Cashflow Tribe Canada. Let me put in the chat real quick, just so I got it. Vinny, Cashflow Tribe. Canada.com. All right. Reach out to him. He'll definitely shoot you straight if you don't get the emails in the coming days. All right, let's see. Adamola says, how do you find buyers?
Again, you're just working on your networking, creating a list, recording them, and reaching out and connecting often to understand where your buyers are at, what projects they're working on, and what do they foresee in the future that they would require.
Absolutely. And just to respond to someone asked you if you're full-time. I said yes, she is full-time. All right, let's see any more questions here. Just also want to remind y'all, if you're still thinking about grabbing a membership, absolutely grab it. There's no contracts, nothing to worry about. You can join, check it out. If it's not for you, no hard feelings. Feel free to bounce. But we just want to make sure we're giving you the tools and the resources so that you can get going on your investment journey. All right, let's see any others. Let's see here. Ahmed says, which closing firm do you recommend when closing a deal?
That would be kind of up to you guys to pick your own lawyers, to build those relationships and help them to understand what it is you're looking to do.
Absolutely. There's all kinds of realtors all over. I've done like my last deal I did. I used two different lawyers, one on the buying side, one on the selling side. And that was just because my experience when I bought it, I didn't like it. So on the selling side, I saw I'm gonna change it up. And so you're not locked into any one type of firm or lawyer or any type of thing like that. It's up to you to really vet them for yourself. Understand, are they lawyer? Are they investor friendly? Have they worked with investors in doing deals pertaining to the ones that you're looking to do? And also referral. Get referrals from people in your network and ask them, hey, what was your experience with this lawyer? Have you heard of this lawyer? Have you done deals with this lawyer? Or do you have lawyers you recommend? Easiest way is who, not how. The easiest way is who, not how. Who's got the contact? Who's got the resource? Not how do I make the resource? How do I get the contact? All right, let's take a couple more questions here. Hey, Amanda, what is your background? Did you have previous real estate experience?
So I would say yes, in a way. I own my own property and I've house hacked for a while and been creative in terms of how to move along. Always felt like you needed to have lots of money in order to be able to have multiple properties. But obviously I've learned a lot more different things and resources as I've connected with Cashflow Tribe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ian says, do you ever disclose fair market value to the seller or disclose the assignable value?
So I do have an open and honest conversation, but again, you're learning more about the sellers and what is their why.
And I think the thing you need to realize as well is once you solve the seller's problem, almost 90% of the time, in my experience, they're not really nosy or trying to sniff you out to figure out what are you trying to scam me on. Because when you're open and honest, you let them know what your intentions are and you're consistent through the whole process, meaning you're not pretending to be one person, then you switch up after another. You're the same person. You communicate your intentions. You're clear. You're serving the seller. You're not arguing with them, but you're coming alongside them and you're working with them to get to their destination. Chances are they're not going to be looking at figuring out what's in it for you. What are you looking to do? When you solve my problem, I'm happy to work with you. And that's often how you do it. The biggest thing for me is just that, man, if I know I'm doing right by people, I ain't got to worry about on the back end when I'm doing deals. And so that's kind of what I would say. Steve says, do you need to be a member of council? No, you don't need to be a member of council. I'm not too sure if you're talking about Cashflow Tribe or something else, but you don't need to be a council member in terms of doing deals, if that's what you're asking. No, not at all. You honestly, I really think that just being able to be a part of this community and taking action on a consistent basis is what's actually going to get you deals. And so I'm not 100% sure in what context you're asking the question, but I hope it answered it. I'll leave the last one to Claudia, who actually has a property closing on the 29th. That's 8 days from now, which is awesome. She says, Amanda, for newbies, how long should you wait to get into wholesaling? Do you need a lot of experience? 1 month, 6 months, 1 year? Have done at least one deal? What's your opinion?
So there's no straight answer. Again, if you guys are curious and want to experience the world in terms of wholesaling, just dive in, learn the courses, trial and error. It's not a bad thing if you make a mistake and things fall apart. It's the best way to learn, to pick yourself back up and push forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so I think Cashflow, yes, Cashflow Council. Steve, I got your email, so just email me. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that. We'll elaborate over email. But with that said, Amanda, I want to thank you so much for coming on and adding so much value, adding so much expertise and knowledge from your real estate investing experience, from house hacking to now doing deals privately, full-time as an investor. Really excited to see what your development and journey is looking forward. Just for the people one time, what are some things people can expect to look from you in terms of your real estate investing business between now and the end of the year?
Yeah, so you guys are going to see me on Cashflow Tribe. By all means, reach out and connect. I'd love to have a conversation. I've also started a company called Home Connections Plus. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. Reach out, guys. If you have any questions, I'm happy to connect and really be here to support you in your journey.
Yes, absolutely. Get connected. Stay with the journey. She's on the road to doing amazing things well on her way. And so from Daniel, Amanda, Vinny, and all of us at Cashflow Tribe, thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. Talk soon. And we'll see you on the other side. Peace and love.